What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis. This is TWA Motorsports, and today we're going to go over a lot of stuff. So first of all, I bought two cars. One that you guys saw in the trailer, I was given a kind of a teaser shot yesterday, and we're going to walk around front and talk about that in a minute, as well as, I kind of talked about it replacing the two-door Tahoe, me getting rid of it, and we'll talk about kind of my reasoning behind that and what I bought, which is really exciting. It's probably going to become one of my favorite vehicles, but I figured we'd start back here in the back, because like I said, I did buy two vehicles. I also sold a vehicle, but I thought I'd show you guys a little bit of an update on the shop. I know in the last video we kind of went through some of the build process, but for the most part he is finished. We left the front off because we're going to have to do some dirt work here, and hopefully that's going to be finished this week. Once that's finished, we can put finish the front. The garage doors are supposed to be here this week, and we should have all the gravel and the dirt work should be done. Me and my dad spent a better part of a day running electricity from here to the pole, and that took some time because I feel like all we dug up were rocks. We actually rented a trencher to make life easier. We weren't going to trench that by hand. So for the most part, we're finished until they get out here and get on the concrete and fix the concrete issues, but that's not going to happen until the thing's completely done. But I wanted to show you guys what I sold. So obviously we're still hooked up to the trailer from bringing the other car home, and the other car does run. I just only had one driver, so like I said, we'll go up there and look at it in a minute. But the Saab, guys, the Saab actually sold, and that's why you don't see it out here, and you probably see something new. Obviously we still have the parts truck because I'm still robbing parts off it for the green truck build. Now the only reason I'm really keeping it around is it makes a nice storage area for junk parts in the bed, and I need the power window stuff out of this for when I do the swap in the green truck. But this guy is new and you haven't seen it before, and there's not going to be a build on it 100%, so I don't want you guys thinking, oh my gosh, why would you even buy this? But this thing was setting about probably a mile up the road, and it's been setting under a tree for probably the past 2 years. And I've noticed every time I've driven by, I thought, man, I wonder if that thing runs and if they actually sell it. So I caught them outside when we were driving our golf cart around, and I asked the lady, it was a lady and her husband, if they would potentially sell it. And she said, well, there's a noise. Two of the tires were flat. It was completely covered in junk from sitting under a tree. But she said there was a noise in it, and they have been thinking about selling it. So I asked him, I said, well, what do you think it's worth? And he made a comment 15, and I don't know if he meant 1,500 or 15,000, but she said they'd talk about it and I could come back the next night. So the next night I come back, she had rinsed it all off, aired up the tires, put a little gas in it, charged up the battery. All this, I didn't ask her to do any of this. I was going to bring a battery, actually brought a battery. And she said, you need to take it down the road to hear this noise. She said he actually ran over something. So at that point I thought, well, maybe it's not motor noise, maybe it's just something underneath. Well, I take it around the block, and it sounds like a backing plate. It's just something under the back end. I'm pretty sure it's either the exhaust or a backing plate that he just bent, but it runs great, starts up 5.3, four-wheel drive. Four-wheel drive does work, and she told me they think $1,000 is what it was worth. So I asked him, I said, well, would $800 buy it? And they said yes. So this thing it's a 2001 Yukon XL, and leather, four-wheel drive. And honestly, guys, the only reason I bought it, originally I thought I might use the motor out of it, but I really bought it because I'm just going to flip it and make a little bit of money. Just going to clean it up a little bit, not do any body work, and going to just send it on down the road. Anytime I can find a car that I think I can make money on, I'm always going to buy it. It's just kind of the way. I used to have a car dealer's license, which hence my name, TWA Motorsports. I used to have a dealer's license, and that was the name of the dealership. Was TWA Motorsports. So if you guys ever wondered why I named it, and the TWA are my initials, so that's something that I just have never been able to shake. As far as if I thought I could make money on something, I always buy it. So you're not going to see very much of this. Anyway, the Saab did sell, like I said. A guy reached out to me, and I really wanted to use that motor for something else, but it didn't make sense just to use the motor as much as I had in that thing. You guys know I was going to drive it for a while, and that just didn't work out. So I'm glad that it's gone. And this one won't be around long. That Yukon back there won't be here long. But let's go around front. We'll look at what I bought and kind of talk about the reasoning behind why I'm thinking about selling the Tahoe. So here we are upstairs, and I said the Tahoe. Why we talked about the Tahoe. The whole reason I purchased the Tahoe is all this stuff. So the Corvettes, the Trans Am, the 52 Chevy, the green truck. All those cars, guys, are two-seaters, you might as well say. Now, I know the Trans Am has a rear seat, but it doesn't fit my family. So I wanted something that, I mean, I have a almost 15-year-old and I have a 3-year-old, and I wanted something before my 15-year-old just didn't want to spend any time with us. I wanted something that we could all cruise around in. So that's pretty much the whole reason that I bought the Tahoe. So I bought it back in April thinking I could get it painted and together pretty quickly, even if I kept the stock motor in it, just so I could have something cool to like go to car shows or cruise around as a family, not taking 2 cars, because that's kind of what we do now. Now, my wife's car is a 4-seater, but we can't fit in there. It's just as bad as a Trans Am as far as the back seats are concerned. It just doesn't have any room. So that's the whole reason that I bought the Tahoe. So when I originally bought it in April, he told me that I told him, I said, look, if you don't have time to paint it, let me know. I'm going to see if I can find somebody else. And he said, no, I can get it in. But I've been pushed off. And to be quite honest with you, it's kind of made me lose interest. And then the fact that I put all new suspension on, I still have a little bit of steering slop, and the new steering gear is already leaking. It's just like, it's almost like it's just not meant to be. Not to say that I'm definitely going to sell it, but if somebody wants to bring me $6,500, I'm going to push it down the road, because it's going to be a long time before I get it together. Hence the reason I bought this car I'm getting ready to show you. But I want to tie up the green truck. I want to get the Trans Am back going. The Trans Am's been apart for almost 2 years now. And I also want to put a motor in my old Chevy truck. So all those things are going to happen once the shop's done. That's really when I think I'm going to dig back into the Trans Am and start on the old truck. But first I want to get the green truck going. But anyway, let's take a look at what we bought. That's kind of the reasoning behind me wanting to get rid of the Tahoe. Like I said, I want to spend time as a family, and to be quite honest with you guys, that's what it's all about. I've been working on these things non-stop, and not that I'm tired of working on them, but I want to drive something. I want to use something. I want to have fun with a car as a family, not just me ripping down the road in the Corvette. But anyway, this is what we got, guys, and it's going to be a little bit different than what you normally see on this channel. It is a 1954 Chevy 210. Now, I would have loved to have a Bel Air. I could honestly add the Bel Air trim, but this is exactly what I wanted. So my painter actually has one of these, that when I went out to show him, you know, what's going on with the Tahoe and whatnot, he has a 53 and a 54. And I talked to him about buying one of those, but the problem is that just like my 55 down in the basement, which I'm going to make really nice, his has a nice patina, but it still needs all the work done. And I wanted to just buy one and be finished. I didn't want to have to work on it. I just wanted to add my touches and then go on about driving. So that is what this is. So obviously 1954 Chevy, you can see that it has the original patina. This thing was actually saved out of a salvage yard. It was sitting in a salvage yard, and the guy bought it and redid everything underneath. So as far as from the frame down, everything is brand new. It has an S10 10-bolt rear end, has Willwood brakes, has a 5.3 LS motor, has heat, has air, has cruise control, has a modern, well, a more modern old looking radio, but you can hook your phone to it. So what he did was he did replace the rear panels on it because they were rusty, and then he kind of made the patina back. He also replaced the rear pan, the spare tire well in the back. He also replaced, I'm gonna pop the trunk, let you guys see it. But I'm telling you guys, I've bought this thing a week ago now, and I have put 1,000 miles on it. It's really dusty right now. He drove it. But that's the battery, obviously. The spare tire well he did. He also used, it's not Line-X, but it's lizard skin. So he lizard skinned all of the new metal that he put in. He also lizard skinned the entire interior, and he put dyno mat on it. So it's really quiet. No road noise going down the road. Let's take a look under the hood here. But like I said, AC, heat, everything to make this thing modern. I don't know if I can do this with one hand. Let's see if I can lift it. There we go. So as you can see, just a 5.3 out of a truck, nothing special here. He actually left the manual fan on it, which I might replace down the road with some electric fans, but it is a drive-by cable, and it's really responsive. Other than that, he put some headers on it, and he did put a hydro boost on it. He said when he originally put this thing together, the brakes were kind of spongy, and so he put hydro boost on it, and I will tell you guys, it stops incredibly well. But it's kind of deceiving. On the way home with it on the trailer, like I said, I only had one driver. He offered to drive it to me, but then he couldn't make that work out with his schedule. and I'm about 6 hours away. I actually bought it in Des Moines, Iowa, or just north of Des Moines. And he was going to drive it down and then get a ride back, but he couldn't. Like I said, he couldn't make that work with his schedule. So obviously he had some faith in it. And I have driven, like I said, 1,000 miles since I've owned it. And 85 miles an hour down the highway, it's just straight as an arrow. It tracks super straight. And we'll take a look on the inside here. He's done several things with the interior. Now, the interior, I like the fact that it's all complete, but the colors are not really my favorite. He did a teal interior, and the car's actually like a light blue. So, and you can see that on the dash. The dash is a dark blue, and then you have a light blue steering column, and this is teal. So it doesn't really, it kind of clashes. But for now, I'm gonna live with it. That might be something down the road I change, but these are simple things that I can change. Same thing with the wheels. The offset's a little off in the back, so that's why he chose to do these dirt track wheels, which it kind of fits the look of the car, but I would like to do a set of wheels. But like I said, easy stuff, like nothing that I had to rip this thing apart and leave it apart for months at a time in order to get what I want it to look like. So I'm just happy that it runs and drives and we can all get in it. We went to a cruise in this weekend as a family. You can see my son's car seat back there. I had to rig up a way to mount it because there's no mounting, there's no seat belts in this car. So I am gonna have to put some seat belts in. I did get it mounted to under the seat where it's nice and sturdy, so he's safe at least driving around. Other than that, on the inside, like I said, we got a modern radio that we can plug our phone into. I might update to a Bluetooth one just because it's a little easier to have it sitting here in the seat than it is to reach up there and try to plug it in. Auto meter gauges, everything works. It's crazy to think a car this old can ride as nice as it does. It has coilovers all the way around. Let's see if we can start it up so you guys can hear it. First time, no pumping the gas. Just absolutely incredible. Just runs amazing. So pretty much all modern. He also lizard skinned. There was some rust on the firewall, so I'm gonna shut it off so maybe you guys can hear me better. But he did lizard skin on the firewall up there. There was some rust that he fixed along the firewall. Did the lizard skin there. The entire bottom of the car is lizard skinned as well. And then he repainted the frame. He added some bracing to the frame, the rear, and I wish I could get the pictures to upload. For some reason they won't, but it's a triangulated 4-bar in the back. That's the suspension setup with the coilovers. Now it does have bag mounts. If I want to do bags down the road, I can. And then the front is just a Mustang 2. It does have a power rack and pinion steering. And then, like I said, Willwood brakes in the front. You can see them there. It's really kind of dirty, but to be honest with you, the cool thing about it is you really don't have to wash it, right? You could just leave it and clean the windows and clean some of the chrome off. But I went back and forth when I first bought it about replacing some of the chrome pieces on the outside, but I just don't think I can do it. I think it just fits the car. And like I said, guys, this is what I wanted. I wanted something that I could drive down the road, and not to say that I'm going to 100% get rid of this, but I will tell you guys that if I do keep it, it's going to get pushed back some. Now, if the painter is ready for it, I'll take it out to paint. If nobody steps up and buys it, I will go ahead and have it painted. Obviously, the price will go up then, but for now, I've kind of put this on chill just so I can enjoy a car for once. Not work on it, just absolutely enjoy it, and then we can work on those projects in there. So let me know what you guys think. I know that if you've been on this channel for a while, you know that I do love me some old cars. I just love the looks of old cars. It's the modern motors and the fact that they run good is the reason I buy the newer stuff. You can't beat the old look. All cars kind of look the same now. So while I do still love the Corvettes and stuff like that, the look, you just can't beat the look here, guys. It's just amazing. So if you do like this car, if you want to see some more, maybe we could do some driving videos and whatnot, let me know in the comments down below. If you understand, if you're one of those people that have a family, that you understand why you would want to take all of them with you at one time and not leave some of them at home, let me know in the comments. You guys have to understand where I'm coming from, or at least I hope you do if you do have a family. But if you are not subscribed, guys, make sure you subscribe. Go down there and hit that bell icon. That notifies you every single time we drop a new video. And, well, stay tuned to see what we sell or buy. Well, probably not buy. Okay, stay tuned to see what we sell next.